Are you looking for some crazy good loot? Well, today we're going to go over unique locations in the Shield Wall and the OODHAM. If you'd like to see any of the other regions as well, I have videos for all the unique schematic locations for all the different regions coming out and is already out. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss those videos. Either way, let's get straight into it. Starting in the Shield Wall, we are at Southern Comms. This is just above the Helios Gate area. So you're looking for a room that is on the far right hand side. There are quite a few enemies here you'll need to dispatch, but once you've done that, you should be able to go up into this room and grab your uniques. They're just chilling by this creepy looking mannequin, or training dummy as you like. Our next location is very close by, and this is at Sentinel City. It is a huge underground complex under the massive Godzilla looking rock. This facility is full of flamethrower men. You want to head inside of the mountain, but once you're halfway through, you'll be looking for this location with all the flags. Now we're going to head up some really windy stairs. We're going to go up multiple stairs to get across and cross the air bridge to go up to the top. The bracelet is up on the balcony out here, so you'll be heading outside where there'll be multiple enemies, grabbing the purple band, and then heading back into the same room where you'll find all your goodies. In this one, we got a Sinner's Blood Bag, which is pretty good. Next location is Fangs of the Maraqeb. I don't know how to say that. Basically, massive Godzilla rock. We're going to the top of it, so get your climbing equipment ready. That means a full liter John and making sure that maybe you got a really good suspensor belt and a grapple, because it will help get you up here really quick. I'm not kidding, I can actually get up this mountain in about 4 grapples, and that's if you have a full suspensor belt. You can absolutely fire off up there. Now I'm not going to go too crazy with it just for the sake of the video, so you can see where the light path is. Basically where all the lights are is the pathway up, so if you're not using any of that fancy smancy equipment, you can go up normally. I will let this part of the video play out so you can go ahead and follow it, and then I'll catch you at the top. Okay, here we are in the jaws, and we have found the unique crate, which we have got the power gauntlets in this time. This box, by the way, I've got several different things from it to drop, so it might not be that every time, it might be something else. This next location is quite a big one. It is Imperial testing station number 142. It's kind of similar to that one in the south of Vermilius Gap in the west part of it, the big hole in the floor, just with meaner enemies. It is quite the long one, so make sure you're equipped well and have some really good stuff for taking out flamethrower men. Since we're in the shield wall, you'll have to deal with flamethrower men quite often, and people with flame darts, so you might want to be aware of that and make sure you equip yourself well. Maybe put a spit dart on, because that really helps having ranged against those guys. And of course, you're always going to get the annoying melee men, so definitely be careful of those as well. I have already been into this dungeon previously and cleared it all out of enemies to make it a bit smoother for you to watch, but yeah, this is usually full of enemies unless you're on official and it's regularly cleaned out. It's an absolutely massive testing station, which makes for an absolutely cool run and an amazing experience. Now's the nice and easy part, and that's going to go and collect our loot at the top of this very long staircase, and well, a really long staircase. And you enter this room with multiple boxes and some really nice loot. I've gotten some really good recipes in here, and you can get some really nice vehicle parts as well. Next location is the Aegis, and this is a PvP zone. Now I will warn you, the tier of loot in this box is actually duralinium items, which is extremely nice. However, the enemies in here hit incredibly hard, and I mean hard, so you might want to come to this at a bit of a later date once you've got some nice aluminium uniques on, or you could give it a good try. But solo, it is pretty difficult. I soloed this one myself, and yeah, the enemies are really spicy. It makes for a fun challenge. The zone is PvP, so you'll need to be careful with other players if you're coming here, so be warned that that is a thing. But yeah, downstairs will be our loot under the stairwell with our unique chest inside. And like I said, it is duralinium tier, and you can actually get some very different components in here you can't really get anywhere else. Our next location is Wreck of the Alecto, and this is a PvP shipwreck. On the outside are lots of enemies, but we'll be heading inside and down this really weird hole to go and get our bracelet. Of course, you have to watch out for other players while you're in here as well, so just be wary of that. But we're heading past that blood door and then down this very strange hole that leads to our bracelet area. It's a bit of a weird layout in my opinion, but it's fine. Grab the bracelet and then head back up where you just came from, because we'll be going through that blood door we were just looking at. You don't need to worry about going through the one that was right next to the bracelet, as that is not where the unique loot is, weirdly enough. So you enter this room, there'll be a couple of heavy flamethrower guys or minigun guys, and you'll get the loot in here, which we've got a shadraths edge. Next location is Passage of Artemis, and again this is a PvP fortress area. This is extremely similar to the Aegis, and it has those Atreides duralinium tier loot type thing in here. The enemies are incredibly mean, so definitely be careful of these and make sure you're extremely well equipped, because they will kick your ass. They are very quite mean for the shield wall, I will admit, but yeah, pick up your bracelet once you've done clearing them out. And unlike the other Atreides fort we went to, you'll be heading to the bottom under the staircase and grabbing your loot, which today I got a focused buggy Cutaway MK4. Right next to this location is Imperial testing station number 60. It is down another one of these weird holes, and there'll be enemies that bash you on the sides. I didn't do a very good job at actually bringing my ornithopter down here. You do not need an ornithopter to go down here. I'm just being a bit extra bringing it just to do the video for you guys. But yeah, you come down here, you see the big shield wall, and you're heading to the other direction near it. Now this is probably the weirdest testing station on the entire map. I really don't get the layout of this one. It is a complete maze, so definitely be very wary of that. But grab your bracelet and then head back where you came from. There'll be enemies scattered throughout, and I actually chose to ignore the enemies in this one. Well, as much as I could. They did absolutely spank my booty, so yeah, they are pretty rough in here. But yeah, grab your bracelet and then go through this massive pentashield door. Don't know why I said massive that way, but hey, it's really massive. Absolutely a big one right there. Head through this area, and then we're gonna go into this. It's such a weird layout, honestly. I don't get the layout, and it's even bigger if you don't know where you're going. So make sure you stick along with me, because otherwise you might get very lost in here. Like, oh my goodness, when we were going through it the first time, it was chaos. We were like, oh, it just continues going on and on, like it doesn't end, and the rooms are really empty and weird. It's such a bizarre testing station, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna go get the loot, because there's actually unique loot in here, and that is exactly what we want, especially if we're going throughout. Heading into this box room, we're heading down the stairs, and there'll be even more enemies and even more spice. I think this was like a spice refinery type mining facility. They have a ton of stations here and weird knickknacks and just bits and bobs. But yeah, heading upstairs, down the stairs, into another room full of enemies, and back down the stairs again. You then go through the blood door, which is on the right hand side, and you'll be heading onto this very weird helicopter looking room. I think this is the kind of room they put like a gravity room, you know, where you get like G-force sickness. I think that's what this is. I can imagine putting someone in that little basket and making them spin round and round. I probably got it completely wrong, but that's my imagination for you. But once you're past that room, you'll find the loot room, which is such a relief after all that running, where we got a experimental Vulcan. Next location is the Crossroads trade post, which is in Mysa Tarill. Here you can find a bunch of aluminium tier uniques, which you can buy from the vendor. I thought I would mention it if you're not aware of this trade post. So meet up with this kind lady in the shop and you're gonna ask what she sells, so you can go ahead and buy her uniques or go and find them yourself. All the uniques she shows you can find out in the world, but if you're not being able to find them or you have the cash for them and want them now, you can get them here. For me, she is selling the Sentinel helmet, shadraths steel suit, and old Sparky MK4. Next location, and this is a double whammy location, is Mysa Tarill's massive worm worshipping place. It's just called Mysa Tarill, but it is this abandoned power station that has been taken over by occultists, and there is a massive worm draped across it. I'd love to know the story of why this happened and why it's a thing. I'm sure I can find it somewhere, but we're heading to the top. Now, because this location is really high up, you're either gonna need a good combination of grapple and really good suspense about, or you're definitely gonna need an ornithopter, because the last bit of the tower is not that easy to climb just without those things. It is quite steep at the top, so you might want something to aid you flying up to here, like an ornithopter or some good suspense abouts. But yeah, weirdly enough, right at the top, hidden within this little crack, is a guy that has fallen over, and he actually has some loot we can steal from him. Which for me, he's given me the Poison Mist, which is an incredibly good sword. Now, we're not done, because below in the actual camp itself, in the same location with the giant holographic head and the dead worm, there is this area full of enemies, and there's going to be another loot chest at the back of this Mysa Tarill area. You can get some really nice stuff off the people here. You can get diamondine dust, you can get carbide scraps, you can also get steel suit tubing and things like sand trout leather, which is extremely helpful for those type of higher tier equipment. So you'll be grabbing your ID bands, grabbing any loot that you need here. We've got some nice bits of sand trout leather. You give some decent Solari here too, but we'll be heading up the stairs into this back area where the worm is. It's an extremely cool zone. I really like it here. I think it's like one of the most well done camps. It definitely sets a vibe, but we'll be heading into this back room where there's going to be several different types of enemies and a bit of story if you like it. You'll get, once you're doing Act 2, you actually have to come here for a bit of the story as well. Don't worry, you're not going to get spoiled at all. It's all in a secluded zone. Yeah, enter in here. There is a sniper on your right. There's going to be a sniper on your left, and there is going to be a sniper in the middle. This sniper is very sneaky though, and he likes hiding behind the pillars, which is usually on the left hand side. There's also a normal armed guy that will try to do some chaos, and then the boss of this area is the melee lady. She can bindu dash at you, she can do the knee kick, she can give you some strikes as well. So what I'd suggest against her is some good abilities that stun, and that way you'll be able to take her down without too much trouble. But yeah, she could be pretty nasty if you don't stun her, so just be careful. I'm using a Mentat turret and a nice sniper shotgun thing. It's absolutely blessed. I love it. I actually bought it from one of the weapon traders in one of the social hubs. Really good stuff. Getting rid of that pesky sniper, we're going to go to this door on the left hand side of the building, which you're going to need to use a cutter to pull it off its hinges. And once you're in there, you can grab the red bracelet inside, and that way you can enter the door on the opposite side where our uniques are going to be hiding within. There is some decent loot chestage in here, some Healy wraps if you need them, but yeah, there's your loot, and I actually got 2 unique schematics in here today. Heading into the OODHAM, we are going to the Beast's Claw. This is a PvP location. It is one of those faction bases, but a Harkonnen version, and it has the Duralinium tier loot in it, so it is for higher level stuff once you're comfortable with an aluminium tier. But yeah, once you're here, there's going to be some very hard hitting enemies. Again, I'm going to warn you, they do slap as well as the PvP in the area. This is a PvP region zone. Head up inside and there should be an ID bracelet on the desk. There are enemies in here, so do be warned. Grab the ID band and you want to head underneath the area you're standing on right now, because there is a unique chest in a little cubby hole in the corner. And today in here you can see I've gotten the Sentinel gauntlets, which is actually an aluminium tier recipe. Heading to Rockwarren village. This is a very wacky location, and we'll be starting at the bottom of the stairwell. Now you're going to have to go up and do some jumping and climbing on this one. It's a bit of a strange one, like most facilities in the OODHAM, but there's some really nice architecture here, and it's absolutely beautiful of a location to come to. Head up these long winding stairs and you'll enter into this room full of enemies. Take them out and head further across into the other room and up on this rock bridge. From there you need to jump across or use a sugar claw to get across, and then head back up the stairs once you're inside the mountain. There is a hidden ruin here and you have to head up all the way to the top. So we're going to go up this really windy staircase, and then we're going to reach this parkoury area. You can jump from rock to rock or use a sugar claw or a suspender belt. It's up to you. I was a bit of a wally and didn't make the jump here, but I had a sugar claw, so I was able to save it. Once you're done though, go into this old Fremen ruin location, and very sneakily under this slab is our unique box. Within here today I got a quite nice improved dispenser jacket and some other nice knickknacks. Next location is Imperial testing station number 71. There are a couple of camps on the outside here and a place to park your ornithopter if you have one, but it's a solid station. I actually highly recommend running this station, as you can get a unique cut array that allows you to farm deep desert materials. So if you can find that one, it is extremely useful and an absolute savior. You'll be heading in, go to the red light, and you'll be going all the way into the back to go and pick up one of these ID bands. There are 2 ID bands you're going to need to pick up in here, so we're going to head all the way back where we came from and across the room to the other side, where the door will now be unlocked for you to go through, and you can enter this room of enemies and immediately hit a right to pick up our second bracelet. Once you've picked it up, you can head back out into a different area and through another door into this boss room. There are a ton of enemies in this room, so beware. But once you're done clearing them out, and it's actually quite a lot of fun, you can head to the back and get our unique chest, which today I got a buggy engine MK4 out of it. Next location is Stonestep village. This is another one of these big ruins, and we're going to start from the bottom of the stairs and head up. It's another one of these parkoury locations, and it is a PvE location. So head up. I highly recommend the sugar claw in here or a good dispenser belt, and you'll head up the stairs. In this area on this flat bit there are a few enemies to take down. There's a sniper up in the window as well, but we're going to ignore that and head up further. And there's another bit here which I nearly missed. Whoops. Once inside this room you're going to find the unique chest on the left hand side, and there's a few people in this room as well you need to be careful of. This chest can be changing to multiple things, but I got a Knight Rider in here today. Next location is Imperial testing station number 163. It is next to an incredibly funny named camp, mainly because it's got rude words in it. Here we go though, we're entering inside. This is where quite a few quests can take place, but yeah, there's also a unique in here too. It is a decently long one, so beware of that, and it can be a little bit confusing, so follow along. So you're going to head downstairs and there's this drop down, a spiral staircase. I'm going to ignore the staircase because Rebel will like that. Head into this room with a hologram and hit a left into the next location. In here there can be enemies up on the top right, but I'm going to ignore them and continue on to this area in the bottom left. Head through these windy rooms and grab your blue identification band, and then head back out, and we are going to the other side of the corridor through our pentashield wall. You go up here, up the stairs, and there's a left-right location. We are going to take the left side as the other end is a dead end. You then have a left or a right. We're going right and into this bushy area, which is where it gets a little bit confusing, but head to the opposite side through the wall. In this room it spawns enemies, so beware, and the door won't unlock until you cleared them. Once you've cleared them, make sure you pick up your yellow band in the next room and then head back out, and we're going back to that spiral room to go down the staircase and into a different room. So make your way downstairs and head through the wall, and you'll be able to find our unique loot chest and our next ID band for getting ourselves out of here. You get multiple uniques in here, but today I got an improved Reaper gloves and some Orny wings. Either way, that was a ton of locations and probably the biggest video yet. Because the shield wall has so many points and so does the OODHAM, it makes a really lucrative spot for uniques to be farmed, which makes it a ton of fun for looting, and I love it. Looting is so fun in this game. Make sure you check out my other videos when you're ready for them. I will have a deep desert one out very soon. But either way, thank you for watching. I love you and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.